Okay. It don't. All right. So from there, where do I want to go to next? Okay. Okay. All right. So let's talk about Jean Benet Ramsey really quickly. And only because I actually watched the documentary about this, and that's why I wanted to give my opinion. Because y'all, I really do, and I could be wrong. I'm so ready to be wrong, but I really don't think this man had anything to do with his child's murder. In all honesty, his energy, and it might be because he's old now. I don't know, but I felt so sad for him. Like I felt so sad for him. Like literally watching him whenever they would bring up, his interview in the documentary, I just felt I felt so bad for him. I felt the loss. I felt the pain of it when I'm looking at him. And I'm totally prepared to be wrong about this. But when I tell y'all, me and Lyric was watching this shit and I kept saying, it's not the daddy. It's not the daddy. Because I know, like, for a long time, people felt like it was the parents or it was the dad. And that's a lot of the times, the case. But I really don't feel like it was the dad. But anyway, let's go ahead and read because the mother is passed away. So I can't really speak on her temperament, but just watching him in interviews and shit like that. Also, I feel like when people are old, it's harder for them to keep up lies because they're old. So I feel like if he were really like a mean enough old man to do something like that to his daughter, it would have showed up. Also, it was what happened to his daughter. I think the only reason they thought it was him is because they found her in their house in the basement. Um, but the things that were done to her, like I would have had to have seen signs of like long form abuse in order to believe that it was the parents that did this to her instead of somebody that just did it to her in their house. Okay. So let me read what it says. Neighbor Jean Benet Ramsey's father, John Ramsey, recently received a letter from a woman claiming her ex-husband was responsible for the 1996 murder of his 6-year-old daughter. The letter comes in the wake of renewed attention from the Netflix documentary Cold Case, Who Killed Jean Benet Ramsey. In the letter, the woman wrote, "My ex-husband's the killer, and I've kept this inside for as long as I can. Please call me." Ramsey immediately tried to contact her, but she did not respond. He has since passed information to a private investigator to further follow up. It's probably bullshit. Jean Benet was tragically found beaten and assaulted on December 26, 1996, in the basement of her family's home in Boulder, Colorado. The case quickly gained national attention, with her family enduring public scrutiny despite being officially cleared by the Boulder District Attorney in 2008. And at this point, we don't care. The parents did it. Yeah, I think that's so cold and callous and kind of fucked up. Like, I think that's an example of how y'all don't view people as real people sometimes on the internet. Um, but I definitely feel like, yeah, I don't think it was the family, because if it were the family, I feel like there would have been signs of prolonged abuse. And I don't think that they said that she showed signs of prolonged abuse. The abuse that took place was recent. Like she didn't have any old bruises or cuts on her body. It seemed like everything was from whatever happened in that basement during that time. So that's one thing. Because to me, if it was the parents, I feel like they would have been abusing her for a while. And another thing is her being a little pageant. First of all, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, something wrong. But we've been saying it, something wrong with y'all. Because when I was watching this shit back, the way they try to sexualize these little girls for putting on big dresses and having big hair and makeup on, they look like baby dolls. It doesn't give sexual. So for you to take it there, something's wrong with you. I just want to say that. I want to say that. Cause like to me, they just look like, they look like little dolls. I don't imagine that dolls are anatomically correct. It's not about, you know what I mean? So for me, I just kind of feel like when I was looking back at that documentary, I feel like back in the day, they did kind of act like she was over sexualized. And when I watched it back, I was like, why do y'all feel like they were over sexualized? Like that's not how it looks. Like she's always covered up. She's just dressed like a classy, you know, adult woman. The makeup, the hair, and all of that is not how a child would dress. But I don't feel like, and yes, I do feel like whoever did it to her was somebody that used to be at the pageants. I do. And I do feel like it's a place for so and so's to show up. But I do not feel like she or her parents were sexualizing her in the way she was in the pageants. And she was an adorable little girl, just very beautiful. I imagine she would have become, grow up to do even more pageants. That is a thing. Like, it is a thing, especially in the South. If you have a charismatic young, little girl, you're going to get her in things that are going to help her grow that, because all of those things help when it comes to college or whatever she wants to do in life. So if she wants to do pageants, some of the girls do dance, some of the girls do cheer. Like, it to me, it's not what people were trying to make it seem like from the parents. Yeah, she like a little doll. I'm not getting like over sexualized. The dresses, and they used to have little ruffle socks on and shit. Like, they look like little girls. Cut it out. Um, but yeah, I don't really think the family was involved at this point, and that's just my opinion until further information. But they said they cleared them, and when I saw, like, I feel like it just was something I would have, But when I was looking at the dad, I just didn't see that. I didn't see that. Um, why do you think sexy women go under the knife to appear young still? Men think they have the best of both worlds if they find a woman who looks under 20, maybe in her 20s, 30s. Sexy is mature. Uh yeah, difference between child, dancer, cheerleader. They're living dolls. That's what they look like to me. And I feel like yes, people are looking to sexualize children, and they're looking for spaces where they can do that. But I don't feel like we should continue to make the children the problem. Like, no, make the weirdos the problem. Like, instead of we should not have the pageants happening. No, how about we pay attention to the people that are in the crowd? Okay. Um, I used to live watching the pageant shows with the little girls. Did y'all notice how the mothers used to look so terrible though? Oh yeah. Like, they put all of their money and their effort into their daughter's beauty. Yeah. Um, yeah, this copycat stuff gonna be weird. But anyway, y'all should check out the documentary. It was good. But let's move on. Let's move on.